Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't seen the previous video, we're just normal guys that navigated ourselves out of the paycheck to paycheck lifestyle. And we're just sharing our stories on our financial struggles that eventually led to financial success.
Yeah, just a small disclaimer. It shouldn't have to be said too much in our videos, but we're not financial professionals. We just people that we live below our means, but we found extra ways to bring in extra capital so we can live a more wealthier lifestyle. So we're not worried about the everyday rat race. We're not worried about a catastrophic event is going to destroy, the savings that we have in our account. And we just like to share our stories with you, and maybe you can relate to the stories, and then maybe you can use some of the good points we had, avoid some of the bad points we had, and then learn from other people's mistakes and learn from other people how to get out of the normal day-to-day hustle and bustle of life so you don't have the worries that normal people have throughout the world. With all that being said, so Alex, you brought up a good point on one of the previous videos about how you left the house, and then you saved up from when you was doing the selling the antiques and things like that before you left your mom's house. So me now, of course, when I left my mom's house, it was no budget. I was just out there flying in the wind. I was like this, I was out there flying bad, But so for you, because you, like I've always told you, you was more financial conscious at your age than I was when I was that age. So when you first got out the house, did so you stepped out, was you like, you had your mind going like budget, 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 or was it more of a, hey, I'm winging it? So what was that? What was that like when you left?
As mentioned in the previous video, where my expenses were pretty fairly low. I didn't really have a expense budget per se. I was more so budgeting my where I was directing my money as far as whether it was to saving or if I was buying inventory at the time. Um, as my expenses began to get higher, then I started really looking more into, okay, what do I need to put away for expenses while still being able to maintain saving and I guess you could say investing in inventory.
Right. Right. And one quick call out, and this is something I noticed when I go through the internet and then I, listen to these quote unquote financial gurus and things like that. They always tell people, hey, you need to budget, you need to budget, you need to budget. With that inherent thinking that people know how to budget. So today we're going to try to do an exercise where we actually pull up an actual budget and then we try to fill it in just to give people insight, show them where to go and how to pull up a budget online free, and then they could fill it out on a month-to-month basis and to start showing them where their money is going. I always believe in this philosophy of, if you don't tell your money where to go, your money will tell it where it's going to go. And usually if you put it on a budget spreadsheet at the end of the month, their money then told them to spend way more than the person actually had. So we're going to do the exercise a little bit later. But yeah, so when you was winging it and then your expenses got higher, so now what's your mindset as far as a budget, now that you're more mature, got a house and things now? So what is your thought process of budgeting and things like that?
It's totally different for sure. I mean, I do have a written out budget, but I think my mentality on investing now is way more extreme. So by all means, I put investing over my expenses first. Um,
Right.
but as far as my actual expense budget, it kind of just looks the same for the past 3 years because every time, if I get an increase, if I get a raise at work, uh, that extra amount just goes to 401k. So I haven't seen an actual pay raise in like 3 years because it's like the same pay.
So so when you go out and you get a pay raise, you don't go buy the latest Jordans, you don't get a new car, you don't because you're in a higher position. Do you get a car that fits the position? Did you do that?
No, I was driving a man. Every person I know can tell you, I was driving a 2007 Honda Civic until recently where I sold it. But no, I mean, not at all. No. just, and I don't even like Jordans, so there's that.
Okay, well, okay. Well, I mean, because most people, they get a raise or they get an income tax check or something like that, and they got to go show everybody, they have money and stuff like that. But it's only temporary because the Jordans wear out, car wear down. It's a depreciating asset. We'll talk about depreciating assets
Right.
in a later video, but those are just the, questions that I had wondering. Because again, like I said, you're more astute than I was at your age. When I was 22, it was budget looked more like alcohol, 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 alcohol. Then I had a car payment. That was it. So that's all it was. And yeah, then a
Right.
car payment. So and I reminisce with people that I was in the military with. We talk about how we used to sit in the barracks and we had scraped together our $20 to get a case of beer every Friday night or every night for that instance. Let me stop lying. Every night, get a case of beer and we was drinking, but we was all broke together. The military lifestyle, I think when I first joined, I was making like $600 a month. So, you put that all in perspective and then it's ain't much left after a car payment and insurance. So I always do the alcohol first and then I'll figure out the car payment and insurance payment later. Gas, just getting somebody else's car. So it was just an ornament in the parking lot for most of the time.
So what is your budget looking like right now?
Well, my budget right now is way different from before. So my budget when I first started into the journey of even thinking about finances, like we talked about in previous videos, super broke, and then read the book, and then after I read the book, I started saying, "Hey, I'm gonna do a budget." So my budget was really because the income was very low at the house. It was just bills, 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 bills. Even after, talking about, volunteering to deploy to Iraq and paying off debt, the money was still low because I came back and I didn't have a job. And then, so it was mortgage, and then the car was finally paid off, credit cards finally paid off, but also had utilities. I lived in Texas at the time. Utilities for just lights was around $300 a month. Then, water, gas, and all that stuff. And then, of course, you got to have some spending money also in there. And I was always looking for the spending money and stuff like that. So that's how my budget started off. But then as I more developed in the journey, it became more of forget the spending money. I mean, I still have some, but forget the spending money and more focus towards investing and things of that nature. So when we first started off, we did the budget. I was only allowed, or I allowed myself, $50 a month to spend. And in me, I partake in the good things in life, like alcohol. But so my budget, my $50 spending budget was gone like the second day of the month. So I was just sitting here, couldn't wait till the next month. But I still stayed disciplined. I still stayed disciplined in that time where I wouldn't go blow the budget, even though I wanted to go drink or go out to eat or something like that. Once my $50 was gone, it was gone. I had to put myself on punishment because I had the goal of it's something bigger than just, oh, let's go out and have a good time. Oh, let's go out to have a good time. I had to start thinking about different things like, hey, what if I'm in a situation like I was before when I was dead up to here and I couldn't make it out? So I was more scared of going back there than I was of, hey, I want to go enjoy life. So hitting rock bottom for me really was that thing that that was the fear of not going back there. So like I said, I'm not gonna lie, I would blow my $50 like 1 or 2 days in a month. And then I got 28 days to just sit around and wait, sit around and wait, sit around and wait. And like my family, groceries is a big expense for us because we eat a lot. But that's how it was going forward. But then after incomes rose, expenses got lower, even with mortgage payments, rent payments, and things like that, it became more of a reverse cycle. And like you were saying about you take your investments first and then you level in everything else and you just make sure everything else you live within those means. I mean, I remember times where the budget was so tight where my wife would unscrew the light bulbs in the house to cut down the electricity bill. Everybody in my house probably damn near need glasses now because we didn't have no lights for the first couple years because of just to save, just to find ways to save. But the thing was finding ways to save, not just, oh, I work, so I deserve to keep the lights on if I want to. I deserve to go to Benny Hondas and then go grocery shopping and go blow the money because I want to. It was being strict with ourselves. And I always told myself it'd only be temporary. It'll only be temporary while I'm in this situation. And lo and behold, it was only temporary. So after we started figuring it out, and then income started rising, but we didn't increase our expenses. We didn't, like you said, once we got raises, we didn't go say, oh, well, manager, they got to drive a BMW or something like that. I still kept the same truck that I got in 2005 when I got out of the military. And actually, I just got rid of it last year. So it was 15 years in the game for me. But we didn't elevate our expenses up to our income as it rose. And then what we did, that gap between where we is at, where we set our budget and the extra income that we was having, we didn't just say, oh, well, we make more money, let's just go blow it. Yeah, we increased our personal income. So my $50 a month has grown over time. So I can drink a little bit more during the month, I still don't make it to the end of the month, but I can drink a little bit more during the end of the month. But it allowed us to, that extra gap between what we was making and now, it allowed us to start investing in things like that, to start thinking about retirement and growth and what's going to happen when we older, and thinking about kids and funding their college funds and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, as far as our expenses now, um, there's definitely a different mindset behind it with, we can get more into this in a different video, but as far as having a LLC where uh, many of your expenses can be deducted. So a lot of my just expenses, not even considering, what I put into investments, but just expenses alone, before I spend the money, I think to myself, can I write this off, and can I get some kind of benefit out of it before I spend my money on this?
Right. And yeah, and that's just more of a mindset of thinking more of financially. Everything has a financial moat behind it instead of an emotional moat. Like we always talk about, money is emotion. I feel like the most emotional people are the people that usually don't have the least amount of money, because their emotions drive their decisions, and money is only emotion. So just like if you see a Fendi bag, Gucci bag, or Jordans, like we said, um, or anything, of value, and you just go, oh, I gotta have it, I gotta have it. And then emotionally, you go, and then you spend the money, and then you might use it once or twice, and then it's just a paperweight or just something that's just holding up your closet. And then next thing you know, you have a whole bunch of them. I mean, I was in the same situation. I had over 70 pairs of shoes. Um, and I used to have, hats galore and all this stuff, clothes up the wazoo. And I actually, when I moved here to Florida, I donated a lot of that stuff and gave it away. But that was more, I say 99% of that stuff that I had, shoes, clothes, hats, and all that, it was stuff that I bought when I was broke. And I was trying to live that image of, hey, I got money, when really I might look like $1,000, but I got negative $20 in the bank. So that's exactly the life I was living. I mean, I always say fake it till you make it. I was the ultimate fake it till you make it kind of person. And those were just different changes that I made to realize that, you can make a lot of money if you just actually focus on the money aspect of it only, and then everything else will take care of itself. um, I think, was it Dan Pena or was it Grant Cardone said money ain't everything, but whatever money came by, I don't want it. That's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
it. So
I
who said that?
I think it was Dan Pena. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then so, but that's just the mindset of it. And or I think the the owner of the Mavericks, I believe he said, I've been rich before and I've been poor before. I'm more happy being rich. So those are just the mindsets, and it's not them bragging or being gaudy. It's, hey, that's what it takes. And everybody, no matter who it is, no matter if it's LeBron James, the Dan Penas, the Grant Cardones, the Dave Ramseys, no matter who it is, the net worth, they will always say, You have to live on less than you make. If you live on exactly what you make, you will always be broke. I mean, that's why you see 53% and then 62% of NFL players, once they retire from the active sports, they're bankrupt because they're living on up to their income. You have to live way, not, I'm not gonna say way below, but you got to live below so you can start having extra funds to actually put away, to invest, to maybe start a business and things like that. If you don't have the capital to start the business, it don't matter. No matter how good your ideas are, they will never reach fruition if you don't have the capital to put behind it. Yeah, you can crowdsource and then ask people for money, but then you have partners and you got to share your ideas and concepts with other people. When if you just sit back and save some money and put it aside, you can reap all the benefits yourself. I think Damon John said the most, what is it called, intuition, the smartest ideas or the best ideas in the world is in the cemetery, and it's because they never had the capital to put their ideas to fruition. And that's what this channel was about, trying to get people to start thinking more financially minded instead of the emotional side, or more of, hey, they said this, they said this. They think more on a financially motivated side to see not to how I can spend money, but how can I accumulate money to eventually get to where I'm going. And like I said, budgets, it sounds like a bad word. Everybody call it the B word, but it's not a, hey, we stuck here pinching pennies forever. Once you start getting that gap, and then people will continue to work and get more money and get the annual pay raises and get the promotions at work. Just long as you don't bring your expenses up to your income, then you have extra. And when you have extra, you can start putting it away into other ideas, other ways to get passive income and start bringing income in the house from not doing work at all. So that's my mindset on the budget at all. But like you said, we flipped it around and we invest, and then we live off whatever we're not investing because we know the returns that the investment will give us. With all that being said, let's get into this budget. I'm actually to help me out on the budget, so you can just give me some points to put in here. A lot of this stuff I haven't had in a while, so you're gonna have to help me out on what to put in these different categories. I was just at Costco, so I know what grocery bills look like. But yeah, we're just gonna go through it, show them how to find it, how they can easily do it. The budget itself will actually do the calculations, everything for you. You just got to put it in. And this is the first step into telling your money what to do. If you set a budget and say, hey, I'm going to do this, and this. If you tell your money that's what you're going to do before you get it and do exactly what you say on the budget, then you will know the outcome. If you just wing it and say, oh, well, I got the money now. I'm just going to put a little here. I'm going to put a little here. Then next thing you know, you're going to look up and you have zero. So with that being said, let me go to the screen share here. All right, so this is just a budget I picked up off of Excel. And for people that don't know how to get to it, you just go to open up Excel on your computer, go to the new button, or when it opens up, you can put in personal budget here. We have it here, but you can type it in down here also, or just type in the word budget. All right, now look at it. Now it's saying they can't find it, but budget. But anyway, you're gonna put in budget. One of these will show up. This one or this one. This one is more detailed, but we're gonna go over the easier one to give a quick illustration. Probably gonna show up because I already got one open. But this is the one you can pull up and then you can figure it out from there. Once you open it up, it's gonna ask you to input information and then it'll do the calculations for you. But let me go back out here. So, all right, so first one we're gonna start off is monthly income. So for this exercise, Alex, what we're gonna do is we're gonna just base this off of somebody making 55,000 a year. Now I know some people make more than 55,000 a year. I know people make less than $50,000 a year, but we just using a median income for a household, and we'll just shoot it from there. All right, with that, and we're basing $55,000 a year, then we're basing that they pay 20% tax throughout the year. So their income, and then we divide it by 12. So their income on a month is about $3,666. We can go 3,700 just to make it easier math for here. And then we can start there. We're going to just no extra source of incomes, no dividends, no rental properties, no nothing. Just $3,700 a month, and that's a $55,000 a year income. That's cool with you?
Yep. Sounds good.
All right. So here we go. All right. So first up, for mortgage and rent. So what's that? What that look like? And we're gonna base this off of a household. I'm not gonna say married or unmarried, just a household with is a parent and two kids. We're just gonna base it off of two kids. So we're looking at a 2 bedroom or 3 bedroom property. We're not gonna use Florida or California or New York or something like that. Let's just pick a median number to go at with that. So about
1500.
about about what's that?
1500. I'm thinking, or I could
Fifteen
make.
hundred? Where you living at? California, Hawaii? Hell no.
Oh
Let's go.
man, I don't know.
No, no.
Any
Two
any more
bedroom.
than that?
And I know you've been in Florida for a while, so
Yeah.
well all your life. But no, let's go rent. I'm talking to some people in Michigan earlier. They say it's about $1,000 there. It's about 15. So let's go $1,100. $1,100 a month in rent. Cool.
All right.
Don't want to bust a bank account right now. Electricity. What you got?
I pay about 80. I don't
Okay,
know.
so let's go. All right, so you pay about 80. I pay about 120. So let's go 110. Let's split the difference.
Okay.
All right. Gas, like a gas bill. Some people have gas, some people don't. But if you don't, that's fine. But let's just put $35 a month there. All right, cell phone. So what's the usual cell phone bill these days?
I'm hearing people paying 120 to like 200 a month
But that for a family plan or is that for just one
for the family.
cell
Yeah.
phone? Yeah, so for
I mean, I
one, so about six, what's
I pay
that?
about 140 for 3 phones
So that's about 140. So about let's go 60, $50 a month.
for one person. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Is this household
Because
income
we
or is this a family?
say that again.
This is a family budget though, isn't it?
Right. But yeah, we just gonna say a single parent with two kids. So the parent got the cell phone. We ain't gonna even put
Okay.
the family
Say
in there.
$60.
So $60, $60 a month. People
Yeah.
probably gonna be like, where the hell y'all go? But grocery bill. Now grocery bills can be a little tricky.
You got
So
kids. I don't know how
all right,
much.
so groceries, I mean, because the price of inflation that went up, let's go groceries 350 a month. Let's just go with 350. All right, car payment, average car payment is about what?
450.
All right, let's go 450 there. Usually people don't budget for auto expenses, but we'll just put auto expenses, we'll just change that to like gas for the car. And let's just say somebody that's just driving a normal, we use your Honda Civic. We use your Civic. You filled it up about once a week, twice a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, about
Oh,
twice a week.
for
Yeah. So
gas.
so how much did it cost when you filled it up back then?
Man, back then it was when gas was less than $2, so it was like $20 a week.
So
But
forty
now,
dollars a week, 40. So 40 times four. So we just doubled it. So 40 times four. Let's get that education. 40
one
times four is
160.
there we go. 160. We use 160 on gas. Student loans, since we in forbearance right now with student loans and people not paying student loans, we're gonna leave that at zero. All right. Average credit card payment in the US is about $250 a month. So we'll keep that. Auto insurance. What is auto insurance running?
Um, I pay 150.
All right, so let's just stick to 150. You younger, so it might cost a little more. Personal care, we're not gonna deal with that. Entertainment, and then we're gonna put the entertainment as money that you are able to just blow. You can buy whatever you want. I'm not gonna break it down to, coffee, movies, dinner, alcohol, and stuff like that. So usually a normal budget about what? That you see. I know we can't use you, but that you usually see.
I mean, the people I see, they're going out to eat almost every day, every other day. So I don't know.
So just throw a number out there.
I would say I would say like 100 a week minimum is what I'm
So
seeing.
about 400, and then that can add in
Right.
personal care and stuff like that. So 400,
Right. Yeah.
and then you have the miscellaneous things out there. Again, and we talking about people that we talk to. I can tell you my numbers beforehand. My numbers, all my money would have been gone way before this. But miscellaneous things, that people might buy. They might spend, let's say, another $100 on miscellaneous stuff. Savings. What do you see people that you talk to in your age group? What do their savings look like a month? Twenty
Not a lot.
dollars, two
Some
hundred
people,
dollars.
a lot of people I see, they're not saving anything. So
Okay,
um,
so we'll put zero
I
in
would I
savings, and
would
then
say the average like that I see, I hear people say like they're trying to save $50 a week. So I'd say 200 a month.
all right. So let's go 200. Let's go 200. Just
And investing, I don't hear anyone unless it's 401k, which would be like the
okay.
company.
Yeah, we're not gonna count 401k. All right. So we got these are monthly expenses. These are monthly expenses. So we can put the savings there. Okay. Let's take these out. All right. So in summary, this is what it looks like. All right. Total monthly income, 3,700 bucks a week. I mean a month. Expenses, 3,365, zero in savings, and a cash balance left of 335. That's what it would look like if that's what people did. So and then don't forget we added $200 here. So let's take this $200 off for savings here. So we'll just pull it up in the summary. So right now, with just this expense budget, and of course, people are going to have higher numbers than this.
Right.
People want to have numbers that exceed this, and then they wonder why their credit card bill is going higher every month when they're paying the minimum on credit card expenses and things like that. And this person right here is paying $250 a month, but it's because if you, and of course, like I said, if you adjusting these numbers up, then because you're spending more on your credit card bill, and that's how it turns out. But if all in all, if a person, a family, a single parent with two kids, and this was their budget, and they brought in $5,500 a month, and these were their expenses, they would have $535 left over, and that's already including. We already included money that they can go out and blow and things like that. So that's $535 a month, and the Roth IRA, you can invest $500 a month or $6,000 a year in a Roth IRA, and then you can start building towards retirement. You can take that $500 a month for 2 months and have $1,000 emergency fund to start weaning yourself off of the credit cards. Or you can take that after you have that $1,000 a month for your emergency fund. You can start taking that 535 and start putting it to pay off the credit cards, to stop using the credit cards at all. So just by doing a budget right here, let me try to take this off the screen. All right, there we go. All right. But just by doing a budget and actually telling your money where to go and sticking to these numbers as close as possible. And of course, you can always pick the other budget right here in Excel also. And then we can create this here and then go like this. And then you can put what you project your cost is. So again, you can put your income here. Let's move this out the way. You can put your income here in this box here. And then you can project the monthly income. Then you can put actually what your monthly income is. And then you can, at the beginning of the month, put your projected costs here, and then just write it down one time during the month. And then you can start figuring it out from there. So you put what you project your budget to be, and this one is more detailed. It got transportation, it got insurance, it got food, pets, personal care, legal services, gifts and donations, saving and investing, taxes, loans and all that other stuff in there. But you can actually put what you project it to be for each category, then actually spend time, 5, 10, 15 minutes on a day, and everybody got 5 or 10 minutes. If you don't believe it, only thing you got to do, if you got an iPhone, swipe left one time and it'll show all the activity that people do on social media. And then you'll see you got 15 minutes in a day if you just minus a little social media. And then just put the actual numbers here, and then it'll show you the difference from what you projected to what your actual income and your difference is from your expenses to your income. And then You use that as a baseline, and then you always trying to find ways to improve it from there. I mean, like I was telling you, we unscrew light bulbs and stuff. I'm not saying to be as diehard as me. Maybe find ways to shop differently at the grocery store to lower your grocery budget. Shop around for insurance plans to get a lower insurance plan. Things like that to start lowering those expenses, but keep your income where it's at or grow it higher, but lowering those expenses so you have more money to put towards and pay off debt. Put towards and pay off debt. Start saving for retirement and things like that. Because I'm gonna give you a hint. There is no more pensions in the world. Not even in the military. In the military now, if you don't, I think it's like another 5 year gap. But after that, every person has to, every soldier has to save like a 401k plan, have to save for their retirement. So it's not the pension of, hey, you get a paycheck every month because you did 20 years of service. If you don't save while you're in, you get little or nothing when you get out, even if you do 20 years. So that's how people have to start looking at it, of how to get my expenses lower but grow my income higher, and then that gives you more leeway and leverage to do different things. But after you do this one time, the first month, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be it's gonna take longer. It's gonna take you about an hour to do. But after that, it'll be a 15-20 minute process once a month, and then it will get so automatic that you would just be like, oh, here's the numbers, here's the numbers, here's the numbers, and you just do it. Just start training yourself to take 15 to 20 minutes a month just to get a control of your finances. And I believe it'll go a long way. Alex, what you think about it?
So, there, along with what Kirby said, there's also things that you can cut back on with your monthly budget. As far as when he was stating, if you go ahead and take that extra 535 a month, yeah, right there. And like you said, Kirby, in 2 months, if you save up $1,000 for a small emergency fund, after you have that small emergency fund and you still have that $535 cash balance at the end of every month, you can apply that to, say, your credit cards, as he mentioned. And once that's paid off, that saves you an extra 250. So if you could turn that 250 to zero, okay, and then show what the remaining balance. So at that point, you have 785. Once those credit cards are paid off, which is very possible, you just have to dedicate yourself to it. Once those credit cards are paid off and you have 785 a month, then you can just go ahead and start paying off your car expense, as far as your car payment. So that's 450 a month that's coming out of your budget that can actually, you have the decision to actually control and remove that from your monthly budget by just paying off your car. If it's a car you believe is reliable and want to hold for a long time. So once that 450 is removed, then it's going to put you at, it should be, yeah, $1,235. So at that point, once your debt's starting to get paid off is when you can really start to apply that balance. I mean, as Kirby mentioned, you could put 500 a month to the Roth IRA, which would be 6,000 a year, which is the limit that the IRS allows you to put annually. That 500 a month still allows you to have $735 left over, which that money can go to, any other forms of savings or investments. But this is just to show you, you can remove your monthly, or not remove it, but lower your monthly budget, um, or increase your cash balance at the end of every month by just simply removing debt that is uh, within your monthly budget.
Yeah, and that's a good point you brought up, Alex, because a lot of people always ask me, people that's in heavily in debt, they always say, oh, if I could just invest a little bit, then I can make some money and pay off the debt. But in truth, the best investment is paying off the debt. Because if we had the budget like we had it before, let me put that 450 back wherever it was at. Put that 450 there, and then put the credit cards back at 250. And then so now we back at 535, and then people, they be like, well, if I could just make some more money, then I could pay off the debt. But the thing is your debt is still growing, and then all investments is not like the lottery. It's not like, hey, I'm gonna put money in investments today and I'm gonna make $1 million tomorrow. Investments is a time honored thing where you have to keep investing steadily over time, over years, over years. I'll just use Warren Buffett as an example. Warren Buffett, of course, he's known as this multi-billionaire, but Warren Buffett was investing since he was 12 years old. And with his continuous investment, he didn't hit $1 billion and he invests extremely hard. He didn't hit a billionaire until he was 60.
Right.
Invested from 12 to 60. That's how he got to a billionaire. So again, it's time in the market of actually putting money to work. And no matter if it's real estate, no matter if it's businesses or things like that, it's about accumulation over time. And you can accumulate faster if you paid off your debt and then grew your investments, grew the size of the amount that you can invest will actually multiply faster if you can put more money towards it. So like Alex was saying, you put money towards your Roth IRA. You maybe put money towards your 401k, maybe put money towards your kids 529 plan or something like that. That's great. And then also investing or doing everything else. But of course, the great thing about paying off the debt as fast as possible is the one thing that Alec don't mention because he refused to spend $1 is you get more spending money. You get to go do more of what you want to do. And like I said, it's only temporary when you're sitting in this budget, but once you get out and then you start paying off the debt and then the debt's gone and you have more spending money, you can open the horizon some more to have more money to spend, go on trips and things like that, whatever you have to do. But you always keep in that financial mindset in is, hey, I want to invest here, invest here, invest here. And then I saved up my spending money for a couple months. Then I go on vacation with that, but I'm not blowing my budget. I don't know how many times I've seen people go on a cruise or go on a flight or vacation to Vegas or something. Then they come back and say, or they call and say, "Oh man, my light about to get shut off." You knew your light's about to get shut off before you went on a vacation. So people have their priorities all mixed up in that. And then of course I might get a little hate there saying, "Oh well, you can afford to do it." But remember, I was at a point where I couldn't afford to do it at all, and I set my butt at home, and I didn't do nothing. I worked this budget exactly like we're talking about, and I paid off debt, paid off debt, paid off debt. So I was able to do those things. It's all about disciplining yourself to do what you need to do so you can do what you want to do later. It's not, oh, I'm an adult. I'm supposed to be able to do what I want to do anytime. You can, but then you're always going to be playing bill gymnastics of, hey, I'll pay this bill this month so I can go on there. And the next thing you look up, oh, I'll pay this bill. This is not a red notice yet saying they're going to shut it off. Why do you want to live that lifestyle? If you want to get out of the rat race, this is how you do it. Live on less than you make, and then you will reach a point where you can be able to go out and do whatever you want where it have no financial impact to your household at all, and you can live way more comfortable.
Yeah, exactly, Kirby. Couldn't say it better myself. With that being said, guys, if you like this video, smash the like button, leave a comment down below. If there's anything you would like to for us to touch on, if you guys have any questions, drop a comment. Let us know what you would like us to speak on. We're always looking to, in our content, provide you guys with something that you guys can relate to. So if there's anything at all, let us know.
Again, thanks for joining and watching the video. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Thanks for hitting the like button. For the people that hit the like button, if you dislike the video, hit the dislike button. If you have comments, comment. Again, we're giving you our insight from our perspective of being in two different areas. I mean, like Alex. Alex was a person who had the financial mindset at an early age that transitioned straight from home to actually winning with money. Me, I was the dirt bag that was going out, blowing money, partying all the time, uh, losing money. And it took me later in life, closer to my 30s, uh, before I realized that, hey, I better change my ways or I'm going to be in a terrible shape coming now soon in the future. And so it's just giving insight and things like that of how to navigate this landscape, especially in an environment now where cost of everything is going higher, going higher, going higher. And it's going higher because the consumption level is too high. And then people that's on fixed income are not getting raises or promotion as fast as they like. They got to find a way to navigate it. And for many of years, I was in a position that I wasn't getting promotions or pay increases or hell, not even a paycheck at all. So I had to find and navigate how to try to win in an environment where I was in that situation. And what we're trying to do is just give you insight on how you can do it. And there is a way to do it. Don't just think, oh, all is lost. There is a way to do it. And that's what this channel here is for. Again, learn from our mistakes, avoid our mistakes. Hopefully, we give you something that will give you motivation to go ahead and do it, or give you an inkling or something that nobody ever told you, so you can be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna try to win this route, because it is possible. Me and Alex, we don't do nothing special like that. We just average, ordinary, everyday people that go to work and found a way to win with money. And we're not trying to bring that landscape of, most financial gurus or YouTube people coming up in Lamborghinis and stuff like that. We're not trying to get you. Well, I'll take that back. You can get a Lamborghini if you want to, if you save that money to get it. I have no problem with what you do with your money. But we're not here trying to mesmerize your eyes with Lamborghinis, Porsches, and things like that to say, hey, do what we do and you can be like us.
Right.
Are
And
we able to afford those things? Yeah. I mean, for us, well, I'm speaking for me. I know for Alex, but for us, it's not a thing that motivates us to impress everybody else. Because always remember one thing: the only people you can impress is people that can't afford it. You can never impress somebody that can't afford it. So if you want to impress people that's less fortunate than you, then go ahead, keep doing what you're doing. But if you want to start impressing people that have money and doing the things to win with money, that's how you can really impress people. So with that being said, y'all have a good one. We'll talk to y'all next time.